Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alan here with DustyHikers.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about two different shoes and we're just going to make a comparison. So if you're in the market and you're looking for a hiking shoe, this is going to be a video that is going to help you make that decision. So we're looking at the Merrell Moab Speed versus the Vasque Satoru Trail LT. I spent over a month in these shoes at this point. I've walked more than 30 miles in each of these shoes. Probably 40 at this point. I've been hiking on trails with them and I also tested them in my advanced footwear research laboratory, AKA my garage. So I have a lot to say about these. The first consideration is how much money do you have? The Merrell Moab Speed on Amazon right now, the same color that I have here that I'm going to show you is $130. I think that's a pretty good value. This shoe was tested against the Vasque Satoru Trail LT and 3 other shoes and it wound up winning that head-to-head competition against 4 other shoes. It's a phenomenal shoe. It's my new favorite shoe. It's my new go-to shoe. The Merrell Moab Speed is definitely worth $130. It's phenomenal. The Vasque Satoru Trail LT, on the other hand, is $150, at least the color here that I have. There is a gold one on Amazon, which is significantly less. I want to say it was only like 110 or something like that. I'm not quite sure why that is, but the Vasque Satoru Trail LT is a super high quality shoe. It's extremely light, it's 0 drop. It has, I would say, less features than the Merrell Moab Speed. So it doesn't have a rock plate, it's got a much thinner sole. You really feel everything that you step on. So these shoes are 2 shoes that are designed, I think, for 2 different purposes. So let's talk about that. Is traction important to you? If traction is important to you, then either of these shoes are going to work very well. Both of them use Vibram soles. This sole is called Light Base. It is the Mega Grip compound, and I tested these shoes against the 4 other shoes, and they actually won the competition for grip. So I just, in my advanced footwear research laboratory, I have a suspension strap trainer and I lean forward on my toes and then just keep backing up to the point where they start to slip, and then I just mark where that is and just score the shoes against each other. And so this shoe was way grippier than the other shoes. Coming in second in that competition was the Merrell Moab Speed. These also use Vibram, but it's called Echo something or other as the compound, which is really cool actually, because I think it's 30% recycled material. So it didn't perform quite as well as the Mega Grip, but it was still super, super grippy. Way better than Conta Grip from Salomon, and way better and significantly better as well than the Quantum Grip from Merrell, and then light years beyond the Continental rubber compound that the Adidas Terex Swift R3 had. So both of these shoes are going to work very well for traction, but there are other things to consider. Hey, as always, if you're finding something useful in this video, please consider hitting like, and that way YouTube will send it out to more people who are in the same situation that you are, trying to decide whether they should buy this shoe or the other shoe. Thank you. Okay, next consideration, is protection underfoot important to you? Another test that I did with all 5 of these shoes, including these 2 shoes, is that I put 1 shoe on each foot, and I do this with all of the shoes, so that's like 10 different iterations. I just step on a rock with each foot, and the shoe that provides more protection, the shoe that allows me to step on the rock and still be able to get traction, and the shoe that I don't feel the rock as much, that is the winner between the 2. The Vasque Satoru Trail LT lost this competition to every other shoe. There's just not a lot of sole here. It has a very, very, I would say, small midsole. For a shoe, it's a normal midsole, but for a hiking shoe, it's quite small. These shoes are phenomenally comfortable though, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you are concerned about being on a trail and stepping on a rock and bruising the bottom of your foot, if that's a concern for you, I don't think I would take these on a long hike like that. If it's a well-groomed trail and it's just like day hiking and things like that, I think that they would be fine. This shoe, on the other hand, tied for second for protection underfoot. It has a very, very substantial midsole, and it also has a thicker sole with deeper lugs. So this shoe is, and I think it also has a rock plate. So this shoe is going to provide much more protection on the trail for you than the Vasque Satoru Trail LT. Okay, next question, super important. How important is comfort to you? Both of these shoes are extremely comfortable. The Vasque Satoru Trail LT probably could have won for comfort, except for the fact that the first time I wore these shoes, I went on like a 9-mile hike and I got blisters on both of my heels. So normally in a shoe like this, there would be a bucket back here to kind of like house your heel bone. And so this part would be like a little more forward like that. These shoes are quite straight back here and my foot just didn't like that. So I got blisters on both of my heels. Now I don't get the blisters. I wear these shoes every day and my feet have just gotten used to it. This shoe though is also extremely comfortable. It's a shoe, both of these are shoes that you can put them on in the morning, walk all day in these things, go to work, come home, and you forget that you even have them on. That's how comfortable they are. I have been hiking obviously in this shoe as well, and it's just an absolute joy. Saturday, which is like 3 days ago, I hiked 8 miles in these and my feet were perfectly fine. So this is the shoe that won the competition this year. I did a competition, a head-to-head competition with these shoes plus 3 other shoes, and this shoe wound up winning the competition. So this is my new favorite go-to shoe. I cannot more highly recommend a hiking shoe if you're looking for something like this. The Merrell Moab Speed is exceptional. Okay, last question, and perhaps the most important. Do you want to look good on the trail? It's subjective, it's up to you. I would say that the Vasque Satoru Trail LT are not bad. They're very sort of minimalist, but again, it's sort of like a loafer almost. It doesn't look like a hiking shoe. And honestly, it doesn't really perform like a hiking shoe as well. It has hiking shoe like elements to it, like with a Vibram sole and a super grippy lug pattern and all of that. But it's very minimalist, it's super lightweight, and it's a very comfortable shoe. This shoe, on the other hand, looks more like a hiking shoe. So if you want to like look the part, the Merrell Moab Speed is a bomb of a shoe. This thing is just the best on like virtually every category you could think of. This is just an amazing shoe and I highly recommend it. Okay guys, I will see you in the next one.